Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some
Nick
fun.
Collier here, and it's I don't know, 3:30 in the morning or so. I'm up, I'm awake. Hey, might as well come up here and do something fun. We had a guy walk in the door the other day, and he tried to machine this, and he did it just a little bit undersized. I'm going to bring it in close so you can see it. He did it just a little undersized, at least this part here, and it's supposed to fit a Lovejoy connector right there, and you can see it. It's a little bit loose, maybe by about 3 or 4 thousandths, which is not a good thing. So he brought it in and he said, well, what do we do? And I said, well, we could weld it up and machine it back down, or we can just start afresh. And really it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Now, there's just one little kink in the whole thing, and there's a hole that goes all the way through, and this side here is a taper. So I dug around in my metal kit and came up with a piece of 4140 that's the same size, and I said, oh, hey, we can do this. So basically we're going to make this piece in this material. And this material here is pretty hard stuff. I'm guessing 8620, 4140, somewhere in there. So I think what we do is just get started. Let's throw it on the lathe. We're going to cut that taper first, just in case I screw up. Then if I do, I can cut it back a bit and come up with another taper. But I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, I've said those words before. So let's go on over to the lathe and see what we can do. Alright, well, I think what we need to do, we definitely have to stay concentric with this inside taper and this outside sleeve. So I think what we're going to do is just go ahead and chuck the whole thing up and leave ourselves enough room to cut it off. So let's tighten this up and make sure we're good and tight. And we are. And I want to tighten this up and make sure we're good and tight there too. Because once in a while, it loosened up just a smidge. Okay. So back this up. We're going to come in and we're going to drill this hole first. Let's figure out what size. Looks like a nice clean 5/16. So we'll come in with a quarter first. Well, we're going to first thing come in with a center. Slide that down. Oops, let's get this out of the way. There we go. Good start. Alright, well, we got a pretty long hole to drill here, and probably not enough to drill to do it. So I think what we're going to do is come in with a bit longer bit. Yeah, that one ought to do it. Although we'll get this one started with this bit here. We could almost make it, actually. Yeah, we're within a 1/4 inch of the end there. So we'll get it started with this one, and then we'll just finish it off with this one. Alright, we're going to come in and just going to go straight to the 5/16 hole. And I think what we can do is just, yeah, we got plenty of drill bit here. We're just going to take it up to the size of our piece. There we go. Now, as soon as we bottom out on that chuck, we'll know we're at the right depth. All right, let's do it again. All right, we got ourselves a hole. So let me square this end up. Alright, got ourselves a squared end, and let's see how straight this line here is. I'd say it's not bad. Because what I forgot to do was to get my taper figured out beforehand. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in on jaw number 1, and we're going to scribe that. There we go. We got ourselves a bit that has never been ground on the top of the surface. So jaw number 1, yep. We come in and we just come down on the piece itself and scribe a line. And we know that that line is in direct correlation with that jaw face. Now, take this back out. And then we also know that the end is square, and let's see how square we are here, just for fun. And we'll get it out on the end there. So we're within 10 thousandths. I'm thinking we need to clean that up so we can bring it back to absolutely perfect. And I could probably do it with that. Okay, we're down to about 5 thousandths. So I can live with 5. But I'm telling you, this thing would have been jumping around like a champ. Of course, it's going into a Lovejoy, so that's, you know, it can jump around and still be okay. So, now what we want to do, I think we're going to just take this whole head off. And we need to be able to reach in there a long ways, and this is going to reach. Good. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Now, I'm guessing we're about 5 degrees or so. So we're going to bring this around to 5 degrees. Bring our indicator in. Okay. I guess we can cut from this side. Why not? Let's get it down to the center of the piece. Bring it back so we can see it. I'll bring you over here. Okay, now we're in place. Now what we're going to do is run our tailstock, or I mean our compound, in and see how much movement we have. Except that's where it ends, right there. So let's take this all the way in. Not there. And we'll bring it up till we get a little pressure on it. Bring this over to 0. And bring our compound out. I'm saying we're out by a bit. Now the question is which way are we out? Well, I don't want to mess with it. Let's just change the angle to about 3 degrees. See if it's worse or better. Oops. So we're off by, about 1 thou. So let's bring it in just a little further. Started at 0. Well, I'm not going to start it at 0. There we go. So we're about 2. I'm thinking we're too far. And 2. All right. Let's put it right on 0. Close enough. And I didn't see it move hardly at all. There's 0. Yeah, maybe it did. Okay. One thousandths. All right, let's just this is a pretty snug fit, so I want it to be fairly accurate. That's it. All right, we're there. Tighten up both sides. And we've got our angle. Okay, let's take this back out and put our original piece back in. And let's get you up to the top here. All right, so we're going to put this in, and where's our mark? And where's number one? Number one's right there. So we're going to slide this in. Can't remember where it was supposed to land. Okay, we can get a little closer. That should do. Bring it out. Okay, now we take our bit, we run our bit down the jaw until it makes contact, and then we rotate around. There's our mark right there. Until our mark hits it. And that should be just about right there. Let's see how we're doing square-wise. Oh, we're off like a champ. But that won't be hard to deal with. There's our eye. Alright, let's loosen it up a little bit. Okay, that works for me. Let's see how the end is doing. As long as the hole, the tapered hole, and the outside surface are the same, then we can be the same. All right. You know, on second thought, we're going to turn this thing around. I mean, it's better to turn it around and get it in. So I think we're going to just go to a 4-jaw chuck. You know, I've been trying to cheap out here and save a little time. But I think it's going to cost me in the end because I'm having to be fiddling around with this. So let's just put a 4-jaw in here and call it a day. Get rid of any burrs that are going to be hanging around. Bring our key up to the vertical position. There we go. And then muscle this thing into place. Come on. There it is. This is a great old Ford job. Well, it was new when I got it, but it's gigantic and it weighs a ton. I'm going to be looking for a much smaller Ford jaw sooner than later. All right, now we're in a place where we've got some adjustment. Nice. Snug everybody down a little bit, and let's get a indicator over here. And we're off by a mile as usual, but it's not too difficult. All right, we're down to about 1/4 of a thou. All right. All right, so what we have here is, it looks like somebody drilled into this with a certain size drill, and we're just gonna keep trying drill bits until we find one that actually fits. Looks like 31/32. And we're gonna go in Come on. One inch, 530 thousandths. And I think it's probably a good idea to work our way up to that size. So we'll start with something a little smaller. All right, we got our hole drilled. Now it's time to come in with a fairly small boring bar. Okay, so we're all set up. We've got our depth set. Everything looks good. Let's give it a try. All right, it's looking good. We'll take some measurements here. Just get out to this outside edge. Yep. Somewhere in there, 112, and we're still at 170. So we got 30 more to go, 40 more to go.